Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, St. James's most wanted Geo nabbed by police. The man at the top of the St. James Police's most wanted list is now in custody. Jermaine Mackenzie, otherwise called Geo, was apprehended by law enforcement following an operation at Harvey Beach along the Rose Hall Main Road on Sunday evening. According to Superintendent Aaron Samuels, head of the St. James Police, Mackenzie is wanted for several murders and shootings within the division, particularly in the Flower Hill and the flanker communities. During the operation, a Glock pistol was also reportedly recovered from him. Additionally, the police reported that 2 high-powered rifles were seized on Monday. Among them was a brand new Smith & Wesson AR-15 rifle, which was confiscated during an Operation Storm exercise in Gordon Crescent. The police also seized 22 rounds of 5.7 mm ammunition, 19 of which were tracer rounds, which reportedly helped shooters improve accuracy by allowing them to see where the projectile is headed. Superintendent Samuels stated that these developments represent a major success for the division and the communities they serve. This is a major success for the St. James Division, bringing to 72 the number of weapons seized since the start of the year. We have seized 10 rifles out of this 72 and the 6 weapons seized over the last 2 weeks, he said. Furthermore, he noted that there have been 43 fewer murders this year, representing a 33% reduction in homicides since the beginning of the year. We are very happy with the successes of the division. The men and women of the division are working very hard to ensure the safety and the security of persons within the division, he said. 48-hour curfew imposed in sections of Waterhouse. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of the Waterhouse community. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Monday, August 26, and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. Wednesday, August 28. The boundaries of the curfew are north along Penwood Road from Barbados Road to Penwood Road, east along Penwood Road to Grande Road to the intersection of Penwood Road, south along Nance Pen Road to Grande Road onto Penwood Road, and west along Nance Pen Drive from Nance Pen Road to Barbados Road. During the hours of the curfew, all persons within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. 48-hour curfew imposed in sections of Spanish Town. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of the Gordon Pen community in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The curfew began at 6 p.m. on Monday, August 26, and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. Wednesday, August 28. The boundaries of the curfew are north from the intersection of Gordon Boulevard and Love Lane along Gordon Boulevard to the intersection of North Avenue and Gordon Boulevard, east from the intersection of North Avenue and Gordon Boulevard along North Avenue to the river bank, south from the intersection of North Avenue along the river bank, west from the ending of the southern boundary along the river bank along an imaginary line leading to Love Lane and continuing to the intersection of Love Lane and Gordon Boulevard. During the hours of the curfew, all persons within its boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized by the ground commander. St. Anne Police probing fatal shooting in Claremont. Detectives in St. Anne are probing the fatal shooting of a man during a disturbance in Claremont, St. Anne on Sunday night. The deceased has been identified as Adine Kalash of a Claremont address. The incident unfolded in the vicinity of Everything Haberdashery and Wholesale in the town sometime after 11 o'clock. It is reported that Mr. Kalash was attacked with bottles by a crowd of people who accused him of disrupting a popular event in the town. The police went to the scene and requested the crowd to disperse. This request was ignored by the crowd, which continued its attack on Mr. Kalash. The lawmen discharged several rounds in the air in an attempt to stop the attack. In the process, Mr. Kalash reportedly went after one of his attackers with a pair of scissors, stabbing him repeatedly. Shots were again fired by the police to prevent any further injuries. A licensed firearm holder who was standing by intervened, but was set upon by Mr. Kalash, who stabbed him. In fear of his life, the firearm holder discharged his weapon in the direction of Mr. Kalash, who was hit. The injured men were assisted to hospital, where Mr. Kalash was pronounced dead. Detectives in Ocho Rios are also keeping a close eye on operations at the White River area in the vicinity of the rafting facility after a man was attacked and shot there on Monday morning. Police confirmed that about minutes after 11, a man was sitting in a bar in the area when another man came in and ordered a drink. The second man then pulled a firearm and shot the seated man in the region of the mouth. The attacker then ran from the building into a waiting motor car, which sped away. The wounded man was assisted to hospital for treatment. Clark's departure will present challenges for ruling JLP, says Smith. Political commentator Lloyd B. Smith says that Dr. Nigel Clark's departure from the government will cause what he terms a seismic shift in the ruling Jamaica Labour Party government. Dr. Clark is set to assume the role of Deputy Managing Director for the International Monetary Fund come October 31. He will succeed Antoinette Seye, who steps down on September 12. Speaking with the news, Mr. Smith said Dr. Clark's appointment to such a prestigious and influential position will present serious problems for the JLP.
Right now, the economy has begun to wobble a bit, what with inflation and other factors. And I think the steady hand of Dr. Clark would have continued to make a difference. Bearing in mind that the Constitution insists that the Minister of Finance has to come from the lower house. I don't think the government has that much luxury in terms of choosing his successor prior to the or after the next general election, when maybe, just maybe, the party may find somebody suitable.
Mr. Smith has said all eyes are on Minister of Education Favour Williams as the likely successor to Dr. Clark. Mrs. Williams served in the capacity of Minister without a portfolio in the Ministry of Finance during the period March 2016 to March 2018.
Will she have the fortitude and sort of fixity of purpose that Dr. Clark had? I doubt that. And so I think the JLP will be challenged to continue to survive overall in terms of fiscal management. That is not to say that Dr. Clark would not have left a suitable framework in which the government can continue to function. But politics as a way of influencing economics. Dr. Clark avoided too much of the politics since he has been in charge. I don't know if a future finance minister will have that strength of character to fulfill that role in the way that he did. I suspect that deep down he would have become increasingly uncomfortable in the role of being a politician. He's not cut out for the tribalistic type politics that we practice in Jamaica. He comes across as a scholar and a gentleman. And I think deep down his decision would have been influenced not just in terms of his getting a major promotion on the international stage, but the comfort level that he will now enjoy, I'm sure, will be to his own benefit as an individual. I think that could turn out to be disingenuous, because the fact is that professionally and otherwise, the IMF functions not in terms of granting favors. They look at the figures, they look at the statistics, they look at the harsh realities, and decisions are made by the IMF board, not by any one individual. Yes, Dr. Clark can use his influence, but I would not want us to burden him with that sort of, assumption that when he goes there, he should be there just to look out for Jamaica or the Caribbean. He's there as a man for all seasons. He's there to serve the entire 100 membership of the IMF.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.